it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it.
It's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it.
And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. Ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. Comma and a comma.
this a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
On to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. What's up, bitches? I am he. And we're back for another week of talk and shenanigans and to see how high we might be. So, without further ado, let me pay the bills first. We are streaming live and direct on X, formerly known as Twitter or Elon's biggest F up in the world. Also, YouTube TV, so you can always go to Empower TV on YouTube and like, share, and please subscribe to that. We're also streaming live and direct on LinkedIn, Facebook Live, as well as Amazon Fire TV and Roku TV. I must say, I'm looking at Roku TV right now to the side, and we look pretty good. Anyway, let me bring up my panel here. We have Lori Parker. How you doing, Lori?
I'm doing great.
Next time you'll watch my cue.
Listen, I got this way. I was trying to be timely because I didn't want you to talk about me, as you always do.
That will continue. Don't worry. Speaking of being timely, man, we got like a full screen, like right at the offset. You know, that's pretty cool. Let's also bring in the host of Elephant Exposed, the one and only, the Mr. TNTBS himself, Mr. CJ Jones. How you doing, sir?
Very well, guys. How y'all doing, guys?
Well, we are doing as well as can be expected on another mass shooting day. And let's see here. Last but not least, we also have the guy that does help us keep our international seal of approval. We do well locally, but it's the guy that can get us across not only the state lines, but globally as well. So we do thank him for being able to bring in all of his followers from a lot of exotic places too. I just saw Ecuador the other day too. So, I mean, this dude is really working hard to keep us international. So we owe it to the one, the only, the franchise, Mr. Jermaine Parker. How you doing?
Keep awesome, mommy.
See, I knew that's what did it.
Yeah, let's keep it international, baby. I love that flavor.
I know that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with a little hot sauce every now and then. Little Tabasco. I got you. Well, we appreciate that because they've been watching. So whatever it is you're doing, continue to take one for the team. We appreciate it. I do. But next time you go,
and you can stay.
You can always sleep on my pull out, bro.
I got you, bro. She act like I don't have no option. You act like I'm old as hell. I'm just like, I gotta.
Oh no, you have many options. A plethora of options. I'm just saying, if that's what you're gonna do, understand you've made a decision, and there's consequences to your decisions. That's it.
I don't believe in consequences. I just move forward. I just keep going. Ain't no consequences.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you just keep going. You don't worry about that. When you're like me, Lori, when you're in my status, you don't worry about no consequences. You don't worry about that. You gotta be a certain level. I can't explain it to you because you ain't there yet. When you get there, then we can sit down and talk about it. Player. Anyway, so before I get totally killed, make sure that you check us out on all those platforms, as well as on Wednesdays live at 7 p.m. We will have head-to-head sports as we've had over the last, 15 weeks now, which is really crazy because it's been more than that. 13 regular season weeks in addition to 4 weeks before that. So we've done 17 shows of Head to Head Sports, myself and my co-host, Mr. Randall Hargrove, where we break down the goings on in the National Football League, and then we preview the games that are coming ahead. Definitely, I'm sure CJ is aware of the big game this coming weekend with the. Y'all don't want to talk about it yet. Y'all just want to wait till the final score, and if you win, then you get your tonsils back.
Oh.
That's the only time I think the Cowboy fans probably they wait till all the zeros on the scoreboard and then they go, "Do we win?" Woo! All right, let me wave my flag. Look at my flag.
I am one of them. I am one of them. Now that much I will give you.
Now let me ask you.
I am quiet as hell. I ain't gonna say. If you notice, I ain't posted shit. I mean, I'm sorry. I ain't posted nothing.
Is it superstition?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so far, it kind of works for me.
Okay.
Like Kat, she can't stand it. Like she wants to watch it, and she's like, "Babe," I'm like, "Baby, if I watch it, we gonna f up. I can't watch it. If I watch it, they won't do quite as good." But then sometimes, but then again, sometimes now she has proven me the opposite. Sometimes I watch it and we actually do good, and I'm like, I'm glad I saw it. So, but
this is a big one, though. Yeah,
I'm about 80-20. I'm about 80-20.
I used to be like that. I'm still kind of like that, honestly. It's funny, I give Cowboy fans a lot of crap about that, but I'm kind of like that when it comes to my North Carolina Tar Heel games. But hell, now it get to a point where it don't matter when or why you're gonna sit there and just let me down like they did the other night against UConn. Like,
I heard about that.
Like, you know, I've given up on these boys because one game they look like world beaters. The next thing you know, it looked like they ain't never dribbled a basketball in their life. So the inconsistency is the only consistency that I see with them.
That's the good part about being a Panthers fan. It don't matter if you watch or not. They gonna lose.
Oh yeah, you know now you know what the Panthers are totally different. You can watch it.
I was trying not to say nothing about that.
You could be 12,000 leagues under the ocean. And one thing is for sure, when your ass finally do come up for air, there will be another number in the loss column for the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers is the only team I know that can win on days they don't play. So I saw this meme that talked about
I remember better days though. I do remember better days.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while for that. I saw a meme over the last couple of days that had like the top 3 teams in the NFL. Then they had the second tier teams. Then they had the middle of the road teams, and then it said the bottom, and it didn't have the Panthers. And then under the bottom it said, and then the Panthers.
No.
I said now we got subflooring going on. The floor, you gotta be like, you gotta be the crawl space.
No, I don't think they better. I mean, they not as bad as who?
Oh yeah,
was it the Browns?
Oh yeah, no, they worse than the Browns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they worse than everybody. They worse than everybody. Yeah, they do. They would have no one pick had they not traded it to Chicago. So Chicago so we got the number 1 pick this year, yay, and then we traded up to get their pick. So they have our number 1 pick next year, which would have really come in handy since we're picking number 1.
Yeah. And I know the number 1 draft pick. I mean, whoever that player is, he probably cussing and kicking dirt.
No, he probably happy now because had we not done what we did, he would definitely be coming to Carolina. Now he is going to Chicago unless Chicago trades down out of the number 1 pick. So
that's right. I forget how that works.
In the draft, it'll say Chicago via Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Now the only way it wouldn't be Chicago is if another team that was as dumb as Carolina was with their number 9 last year says, "Hey, Chicago, y'all interested in trading with us? Y'all take 9, we take 1, and we'll also maybe give you like next year's number 1 or a second or a third round to go with this one." And Chicago might say, "Sure, that just gives us more pieces to build around Justin Fields. We'll take that."
Yep.
So that's the only way they can pretty much come out of that number one spot right now. But we gifted them very early for obviously no reason, since our number one pick is a bust and did not work out. You heard it here, Bryce Young.
I like how Tepper is not really owning up to it being an ownership problem.
You know, and that's what I brought up on the show is, you know, if you've been in a relationship, or let's just say over the last 5 years, you've had 5 people that you dated, and all of them ended the same way. At what
You the
point?
problem.
At what point do you say?
Well, what he said was, and please misquote me, is that outside of football, no one ever leaves him, and he doesn't go through these changes and stuff. And I thought, well, that's awesome, but we talking about football,
Right?
That's like me saying, look, I've never put my hands on one of my male best friends, and simply because I beat the out of the last couple girlfriends I had. If you look at my other relationships with men, you can clearly see I'm not a beater.
Exactly. Exactly.
I understand why you think it might be similar, but it's not the same.
It is not
exactly.
the same, sir.
There's nuances to things. You got to nuance it.
Yeah, he you know, and I think, and quite honestly, I was rooting against them when they fired Steve Wilkes. Shout out Dub C.
Yeah, Dub C. That's right. Everybody,
you know,
Charlotte. But yeah, and you know, I keep thinking about the meme of Color Purple, which you sitting there saying, "Until you do right by me." It kind of looked like once Steve Wilkes with his little Nettie outfit on, talking about, "Till you do right by me." I like
everything you do.
Exactly, and it's funny because we ain't done jack since then, so it's going to be interesting to see how all that works out. But yeah, so the NFL show is every Wednesday. We do our best. The last couple of weeks we've gone heavy on Panther Talk, but we did cover a lot of the other games too. We talked about, you know, I predicted the Cowboys might have a chance to win, CJ. So you know, we'll see. I hope that doesn't do you guys in by me predicting that they have a chance. I didn't say for sure they will win. I did actually say Philly would win the game because I just expect the lights to be too bright and Dallas to start doing stupid stuff. I think on paper they're the better team on Sunday. But sometimes
I'll say it like this:
where the better team on paper hasn't won the game. Kansas City dropped the game. Detroit.
Yeah, because that's what made me doubt that. See, I guess I kind of had like sympathy doubt. Like when I saw that, I don't watch us play, but I watch other top tier teams play. Yeah. And when I saw the Chiefs lose, and I was just like,
yeah.
Now was that
they lost to?
Was that supposed to happen
to the Packers? And
the Packers, bro,
beat Detroit on Thanksgiving, and the Cardinals just sat there and beat Pittsburgh the other day, and up to that point they'd only won 2 games all year.
And so I was just like, okay, well, it is Sunday.
Like, Cincinnati played Jacksonville on Monday without Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
and they passed and they had more yards in that game than they had all season, even with Burrow.
Hey, shout out to Lil Duval and Gary Owen.
Yes,
who
that
were
was
big.
Funny. Yes,
Gary's from Cincy, and Duval, of course, is from Jacksonville.
Okay,
he's a big Jag fan. He even flew. They bet yearly on the games they play and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Duval is a comedian. He's got his own little twin engine airplane. He flies around. He flew Gary down for the game and everything. And then when they won, they posted Duval flying and leaving Gary in Jacksonville.
He left him on the tarmac. No. He left him on the tarmac. And then Gary Owen did post a live because he had to be driven back to Atlanta.
Wow.
In order to get back. So, and then I think the bet was that he was Lil Duval has to wear his
Cincy jersey 3 days in a row.
3 days in a row. and then he needs to sit here to do that. Yeah. And then
Wow.
to pick him up in this way because get him back. So because he took that loss a little hard, especially according to the video.
Well,
Yeah.
he can take them losses hard, but you know, we in Carolina, we're at the point of paper bags right now. I would, but it's just too damn hot under that thing. I mean, I would have been under that paper bag. I ain't lying.
Oh my gosh.
I would even would have taped little damn eyebrows on that thing.
Dang.
No, I'm full of Sugar Creek, Regan Road, or the Ford. Just pink robe, slippers, headscarf on, just out here owning it. Just fabulously horrible, owning it. The Panthers, ain't no reason to run from it. They suck. Can't say nothing about it. They made a mistake. They made mistakes, multiple mistakes, and it does. And I think it goes back to Steve firing Steel Wheels, trading away your draft choices, getting rid of DJ. A lot of mistakes.
Not only that, though, Jermaine, we were talking about it on the show yesterday. You know, once they let Frank Wright go and they also fired Deuce Staley and Josh McCown, the next day, the new interim coach did. It's now things are starting to come out from behind the scenes about assistant coaches running behind Frank Wright's back to Dave Pepper, talking junk about Frank Wright or things that they wanted Bryce Young to be able to do that Frank Wright isn't listening to, isn't doing, and stuff like that. So your lieutenants actually started pulling a coup on you, which also led to you getting fired because they started talking about stuff. And they also talked about Tepper being very meddling, talking about he noticed Bryce Young's footwork and he wanted certain things to be corrected. And I started getting Jerry Jones vibes. I said, oh, God, no. I said, stay away from that third rail, bro. Between Jerry Jones and Daniel Snyder, you do not want to emulate that at all. I said, the next thing he's going to be a media whore looking for every camera after the game and wanting to talk about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Or be on podcast Monday mornings and stuff. So, Tepper, please stay away from that. Having all that money doesn't make you smart. You're supposed to be smart enough to know that you need to hire the smart people around you to do these things.
But how do you do that now in this situation in Carolina when a coach has got to know that he's not afraid to fire people mid-season? In fact, he'll get one every year if he needs one.
Oh, here's the thing. He fires these guys, but I mean, you ever heard of golden parachutes? I mean, there ain't no golden parachute than being
they get paid.
Being an NFL coach. When Matt Rule got fired 3 years into his deal, he signed a 6-year, $60 million deal. So, and was fully guaranteed. So they were on the hook for that $60 million. The only way that they could come off of it is if he had gotten another job and it would offset some of that. But he got a college job. It ain't going to offset that much of that salary. So you get paid to damn leave and you make $20-30 million just to sit on your ass.
Yeah, but I mean, a second coach, you can get a non-serious coach who's just looking for some money. But how do you get a coach that's willing to sit in there and build, knowing that you can't trust your owner?
And that's going to be the problem. That's what happened to the Houston Texans. If you remember, they've had 3 coaches back to back. They had David Culley, they had Lovie Smith, and now they have DeMeco Ryans. And I think the Texans had to give DeMeco some sense of job security. They gave him a full contract. They gave him multiple years. It still doesn't mean that they won't sit there and tire of him and release him. You know, if they go back to doing what they did before, that ran DeAndre Hopkins out of there, that ran TJ Watt out of there. Deshaun Watson wanted to get out of there because of the culture and stuff like that. And that became the laughing stock franchise. But look at them now. With a rookie quarterback, they're pushing Jacksonville for the number 1 seed in the AFC South. So things can turn around pretty quickly, but you know what it always starts with? And it doesn't matter whether it's an NFL team, Lori, if it's a company, if it's Fred Sanford and Sons junkyard business, it's the culture.
It is the culture.
The culture. If you have a toxic culture, you will have terrible results, period. Any disagreement there, Lori?
Nah, I think we're going to spend the time on football, though.
Lori, Lori, you tired of football?
Oh yeah, she's tired of it.
Okay, well then I
Absolutely
definitely ain't gonna go back rehash Florida State being a 13-0 team getting snubbed because the SEC team had to be in the college football playoffs. I ain't gonna go there then.
Nah, that's like another 15-minute conversation. I would
At least. But this is about politics, and you know what? That is definitely about politics because you can't tell me that you win all your games in a Power 5 conference, and then when it's time for them to announce who's going to the playoffs, they choose a team that has lost games because they're in a different conference that they hold dear.
Well, I mean, anybody who, and I'm be brief on this, Laura. Anybody who thinks that was legitimate from the start is foolish. When you know what I mean? Like seriously, like so I think we're all old enough to it was just how before the playoff system it was just kind of I hate to say arbitrary, but they just kind of just chose who they wanted to choose to play in the big game. That's what it was. And so just because they added an extra layer to BS doesn't mean it's not still BS. And so I mean, it's just
it is
my boy good game brother. He's a YouTuber, does video game stuff, does a lot of Madden. He's out there playing people. He'd be like, expose him. So that's exactly what's happening to the committee. They expose him. They just getting exposed. That's all. I mean, but hey, look, shout out to them for being so bold and brave. I blame it on Trump. People just lie just so blatantly and just so you know what I mean? Just like real.
You can't hide behind it. It just keeps what is in the darkness will come to light. I just always feel like
that's my thing. Like none of this was in the darkness. People were calling this BS before it even happened. They're like, we know it's going to happen. And it happened.
It's just a matter of, I think it also may be just about the timing or whether people either got tired of it for this way and everything else, or I'm still going to keep calling you out on it. And just
Jermaine, I think what happened was because they didn't have their starting quarterback and they were playing a bowl game against Louisville. They were really hoping that Louisville was going to take care of the issue for them. And then they would have to do what they wanted to do from jump. But then once Louisville did not win and Florida State continued to win, then they said they're like, oh, but they did it.
Look, we wrote this script weeks ago.
Yeah. We're going to have to go on through with it, but now we have no cover. The emperor has no clothes, as they say. And
I understand. I've been called out at 2 a.m., half drunk, something pushing 300 pounds, and think to myself, I'm too far gone. I'm gonna have to go. Your boy gonna have to go through with this. I get it. Sometimes your hands are tired.
Bro, I know. And that time when your dad said that, yeah, I knew that was Brian's car because it was leaning on one side.
You didn't say that. That's real.
We start to go left.
Big ass went in there. He lucky it was just leaning to one side. I was scared some of her was gonna be hanging out the window. But
that's
all. Talking about
I think the block that I had in the car was bigger than the blocks I had making the car go. But anyway, it was a big block, Lori. It was a big one. Anyway, Jermaine, for all those folks out there that don't know, Jermaine is the broker in charge for Jermaine Parker Realty, LLC here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So please, if you do have any needs to buy or sell a house, look no further than the good realtors at Jermaine Parker Realty. Jermaine, so if anybody's asking, I've had people still asking me even now, is it a good time to buy a house? I know you're saying it's always a good time to buy a house. Are there any things that people buying houses or selling houses in this current climate should take into consideration more than anything?
Yeah, absolutely. The only better time than buying right now is buying like 20 years ago. And so if you don't have a time machine, I suggest that you go ahead, if you're considering, go ahead and jump it in now. Here's a consideration. So a lot of people are waiting for a housing crash. In my conversations, they've been waiting since 2017 or maybe a little bit more for the housing market to somehow turn around and crash. It's not going to happen. If you ever look at when the market crashes and stuff, um, it's usually, and the reason we have 30-year loans is to stabilize our market. What the things that you got to consider now in terms of it's going to be a seller's market, and the reason for that is like myself, I'm locked into a 2.875% mortgage for 30 years.
Damn.
I don't have an incentive to sell my house to go
None.
get a 6 or 7 or 8% loan, and so a lot of people are the same way. So I would say this: if you're searching for a house, if you can afford to buy. Excuse me. If you can afford to buy, because now it's not going to get any better for you. Everything is going to increase in value. And so this is your time machine. Like I said, the only time to buy is about 20 years ago. Next year, I'll be saying this about this time. Years from now, I'll be saying it about this time. So now that's why when realtors say it's the time to buy, it really is. If you can afford the rates and you can do it. Now, what I would tell you is if you live in the Charlotte area, don't move to Charlotte. It's because the price of Charlotte $1 million to qualify, you got to be making about 145K either single or as a family annually in order to qualify for that mortgage and stuff. So, some things to think about there too. Am I qualifying? What's my credit looking like? What's my debt to income ratio? If you need some time, pay down your debts and stuff. Get some money aside. If it was me, I'd have 20 to 25K set aside for closing and everything else.
Right. Yeah, Jermaine, that's so two things with that. If you're saying that a lot of people there's a lot of people that are probably owning a house that are in the same situation where they're locked in at a very, very low interest rate, or definitely an interest rate that's lower than what's out there right now. There's no incentive. There's no incentive for them to sell, because when they would get a new loan, it could be almost twice as much as the current interest rate that they currently have.
Yep.
So that's going to limit the amount of used home inventory out there. So would it be a better idea for people looking to buy a home to then start to look at new builds more?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. New construction is a great way to go. And if you're in Charlotte, you notice that they're tearing down trees everywhere.
Everywhere.
To put up. So Charlotte has a housing.
CJ, they doing that right across the street from you.
Yeah.
What is that they building over there?
Yeah. One of them is right directly behind the DMV. And the other one goes, they're using part of AAA's back parking lot. You can literally look and walk straight across from where I live to the parking lot of AAA now. When before all of that was a mystery.
Yeah, it looked like it's gonna be something nice.
I'm getting hurt by the sun. It actually hurts to step outside.
Yeah.
And when the wind tunnel comes, when I go downstairs and I walk out to warm up the car, I'm already frozen. It feels like I'm back at Norfolk walking down the pier. There's no protection at all. Evidently, we stopped believing in Mother Nature here in Charlotte, and I am pissed.
I hear you.
No, I'd say it's just that wherever you can put. I mean, quite honestly, if I had the capital, I would do small contracting and like build 1 or 2 houses and stuff, because the profit that you can make on building a house right now, based on what materials cost and what you can actually sell for brand new around here, there's lots of money to be made for you as a builder, even if you're only doing 1 or 2 houses at a time. Just finding an acre here and splitting an acre and stuff and putting you 2 houses on there, which is big lots here in Charlotte if you got half an acre. Especially when most people have like 0.1317, lot 0.2.
Yes.
But that's like me. I sit on almost an acre of land.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's
And,
a lot of,
and
that's
again,
a lot of yards for you.
no incentive. Now, and my loan is assumable too. That's one of the big things about mine. So I would actually, if I was going to sell, I'd charge you more because you're going to get that 2.8 assumable rate, assuming that you qualify for it. If you wanted to go that route, which I mean, why wouldn't you go that route?
Now, for people that don't understand, a lot of times when you're trying to buy a house, you go and you get your loan separate of the one that the seller has. When you have an assumable loan, as long as you qualify, you're basically taking over the same conditions of that loan. Is that right, Jermaine?
That's absolutely right. So again, I sit in Charlotte. My house is about 2,700 square feet, ranch, brick ranch. So almost an acre out here in the country with the deer and stuff.
Sell it.
My mortgage payment is $1,500 a month.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
There's
And
people.
that's a deal.
There's people in apartments that pay more than that a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
for small
I'm-
footage.
Yeah, that's us over here.
Yeah.
Right now, to live over here in Mexico, and I do mean that.
It is.
Over here in Mexico,
Why
because
do
you
you
have
call
to
it
be,
Mexico?
yeah,
Oh, is it
you
little
have to be
Mexico?
bilingual. You have to be bilingual over here.
Or you hadn't been on Regal. You ain't been on Regal Oaks?
No.
Bruh, listen, I live in Mexico.
You
I
do.
promise you.
You do.
You have to be bilingual. I thought
do.
when I lived in Texas, I had to be bilingual. No,
You ready on
not at
Albemarle
all.
Road because people can't drive. I hate driving on Albemarle Road at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And then now you understand why I got where I be pissed off when we talk about at the end of the show.
You know what, CJ? Absolutely. Absolutely. For you to get to where you at by the quick trip to, from anywhere else off of Albemarle Road to get to over there. Yes, yes, because I have to go through there all the time, and it drives me crazy when I do. They cannot drive at all.
No,
it's bad. It's bad.
But, so you asked me, is there anything to think about? So thinking about what the situation is. If you are you're potentially thinking about selling your home, the first question is where do I go? And so I'll be honest with you. If it's me and you want to stay in the area and stuff like in the city, I say stay with what you got. I know I'm not sure you do better because any profit that you can, let's say I sell your house and we're going to make money on your house. You're going to be in a contract quick. It's going to go smooth and everything. You're going to think that, Jermaine Parker Realty, whether it's myself, my big bro, are the greatest realtors in the world. And, oh man, it's smooth. You tell all your friends about it. I get that part. But then you're going to take all that money that we got you and you're going to have to reinvest it into a smaller home with a higher interest rate, with a higher monthly payment.
and
Right.
that's the problem. So thank you.
Mhm.
And that's the problem.
So like me, when my girls get out of high school and stuff, I'm just leaving the area. I'm probably go down to Charleston, live at the beach, or Lake Watery, and don't steal my idea. If y'all pull up on Lake Watery, oh God, don't do it. Don't you steal my idea. I didn't even say it out loud. I said it like a couple times, but anyway, it's but there's several places that you can go out of the area because real estate is locally driven. Like I tell people, you just as big brother and sis or lived in New York and sis you lived there most of your adult life. I can tell you that a lot of people don't live in the city. They commute in. They live outside. They live in another state. They live in Jersey. A lot of them,
Mhm.
and or upstate New York stuff. And so when I tell people, you can go to Salisbury. Now Salisbury is going to be 30 something, depending on where you have to go to work. Salisbury is a good option. Gastonia.
Even on heavy traffic days,
Well,
you're looking at about 40, anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes.
It's
Because I do work up there sometimes.
The posted speed limit is 70, which means everybody's doing 90 coming down there. So it'll take you no time to get from Salisbury.
Not like it used to. Not like if you've been in the area for a long time, you think when you hear Salisbury, it sounds so far away because in the old days it used to be 55 miles an hour. Hell, I remember when it was 50, and it would take forever to get to Salisbury.
Go take that Charlotte money and go to Statesville if you want to move.
Facts.
Get your easy pass.
Yeah, definitely that.
Get your easy pass, come down 77. Same thing about South Carolina.
I was
Same
gonna say
thing about going west.
not Fort Mill or TK, but going down there to Rock
No,
Hill. Going down
no.
there to Rock Hill.
You might as well be in Charlotte.
Exactly. Yeah.
You might as well be in Charlotte.
You might as well be in Huntersville.
Yes.
You might as well be in Burkdale.
A lot
All it is,
Monroe and Union County. I would tell you that Monroe is on my list with like Concord and Huntersville and even Kannapolis in terms of people have already figured that out, and you're gonna have to step a little bit further away. If you can get some decent stuff there, I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm just saying that Mountain Island, a lot of people are heading up 16 and stuff. Talk to a real estate professional, and we can tell you the areas, and maybe find some things that might work for you and stuff. But I'm just saying, so if you're selling, I know that's a big thing about where am I going to reinvest this money, because that's what it is. You want to reinvest. If you're not retirement age, like myself, then I get it. You like, I still got some years of work. Well, I mean, hold on to it. But if you're buying, listen to this thing too. People are holding on to it, and they want premium because they know that they're going to have to take whatever they get to go get something smaller with a higher payment and stuff. And so they might not be concessions aren't going to be there and stuff, which is fine. Just understand. My one tip that I wish people understand: if you bid on a house, whatever you bid is what you should be prepared to pay. Don't bid on a house thinking that later on through negotiations for repairs and stuff like that, you're going to cut off $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 off the price of that house. Whatever you said you want to pay for it, let that be what you want to pay for it. And if by chance there's a reduction and stuff, then you get to take the reduction.
Absolutely. I'll also throw onto that too, Jermaine, is, I remember when we moved back from New York to Charlotte, I always tell everybody one of the biggest things to adjust to is the cost of everything, because it's so much less. You get that sticker shock because you're so used to paying one thing that you end up seeing something else and you're almost like, that's it. So, and why do I bring that up? You need to be prepared to understand that when you're buying a house is that there are going to be costs with regardless of what kind of loan you end up qualifying for, mostly unless it's a 100% VH. Veteran VA loan. I said VA. And there's still gonna be costs with that too. But for a lot of those other loans, there are going to be closing costs. There's going to be down payments. There's going to be other things required. So figuring out your access to liquidated funds, and what I mean by that is funds that can be easily converted into cash to be used for down payments, closing costs, due diligence fees, earnest money, all of that has to be taken into consideration. So what I would tell you is get with a realtor, find out all those things that you can about the different things that could be required. If you're talking to a lending agent, they can a lot of times steer you in the right direction too, as far as things that may be barriers to you being able to get a home. They're going to look at your debt service ratio. How much debt do you have to the income that you have coming in? Would you be able to cover that loan? Is the loan actually for your primary residence versus an investment property or versus a second home? Some of those loans that you would qualify for may not be there depending on what the use is for. I just had a call yesterday with two sisters about that, where they're wanting to buy investment property. And I went through a lot of that with them so that they could have a better idea of where they may want to purchase an investment. Should they do a multifamily versus a single house? What the locations and what's the benefits of buying a new build versus an existing home? So there's a lot of things to think about.
Y'all need to start watching these flipping shows, especially if y'all been watching DJ Envy.
I didn't know he had a show, but Lori apparently does.
Turn that shit off. No, especially.
Oh no, DJ Envy. Yes, and the heap of trouble that he has gotten into for when he was flipping.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna say it's his partner Castro, but the reason I say that is because it all sounds really nice until you get into it, and you know, as CJ would say, when the elephant is exposed.
Thank you.
The problem is that, again, real estate is regional and stuff. And so when you talk about multi-families here in Charlotte, you're talking about the projects. Because ain't no real, no, seriously, the housing authority.
Absolutely.
Housing authority built multi-families, but this is the South. The South that they just build, that's a regional thing. That's like basements and stuff like that. It's regional and stuff. And so a lot of y'all call me talking about, I want a multifamily. I'm like, well, you need to go to another state, or you need to, look somewhere else, because if you're going to look for a multifamily in Charlotte, it's not what you think it is. And if you're going to find one, it's probably going to be overpriced. There's a lot of things going into it. You'd be better off trying to look for a damn apartment, like a 10-door small apartment. Yep. You probably find that easier than you find what you think of as like a multifamily. It's just like, say, talk to people, and like, I'm not gonna lie to you. First of all, I get a retirement check. I sell houses because I enjoy it and I like helping people and stuff. Selling houses does not keep that rotating light back there on.
He said the rotating light.
What does keep that light up?
The love.
Just pure
love. It's just pure love and affection. It's not even plugged up. It's just feeding off the love. I got
yeah. Love keeps me up too.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Likes the way from me. I lead with my heart, and my heart tells me not to lie to y'all when it comes to these homes and stuff. Because a lot of y'all have been led to believe that you don't need any money. You absolutely need money to buy a house. Stop listening. Anybody who tells you different is lying to you. Anybody who tells you
no money down,
money down. Yes, money. You buy shit with money. That's just how it happens. Y'all stop getting lied to out here. These streets, people just like, oh, you don't need no money. There's a program. It's called jail. That's the program. That's the program.
Oh my God.
Gonna be in the same prison trying to guard.
You see this 6-bedroom, 3,000 square foot house I got? No money down.
No money down. I didn't pay a dime for it.
Don't get up out of here before the feds show up. Think I'm part of this.
A lot of times, like, a lot of people do the buy, refinance, and reinvest, and but there's initially some money, your money you had to put up. Yeah. And so, like, when I tell people, realistically, especially in Charlotte, if you're closing costs between your earnest money that you're going to put down, or your due diligence, and then closing costs and stuff, 20 to 25K. If you don't have 20 to 25K in the bank right now, and that's gone up, because I think when my brother and sister were looking, I think I was telling people between 12 and 15.
Yeah.
That.
That's true. Absolutely. That's right.
All that then. And that was a couple of years ago. And so I upped it now, looking at because the prices are going up, the interest rates are going up. I'm telling you, with your closing costs and stuff, you're gonna be looking all sad stuff when they ask you for 16 to 17K for closing.
And the main reason behind that is that you're not, going to find that $200,000 house out there that doesn't need any work, that's ready to move into.
Again, stop watching these shows.
Yeah,
that's not real. That's not real life. And then people get upset and stuff. They get frustrated.
House, and you can move into it tomorrow. You out your damn mind.
Yeah, people think they come down, and people just go. And again, like we said, like for me and a lot of people in my situation, you're trying to get somebody who's motivated to sell their house. And if you think that you're gonna come in there and offer them $100 to take their house off the market, or you gonna write some kind of letter that's gonna be more than the 40 grand of cash that somebody else is offering, but your letter and the love that powers that light back there is gonna help. This, I'm the only Care Bear around here. That's the power of love shooting out at me and shit. That's look. I'm telling you, it's not gonna buy you a house.
It won't.
I have a question. So, since you are a Care Bear, which Care Bear are you?
He just told you.
That's another show. And if you want to pay to hear that answer, go to his OnlyFans page at the franchise.
Laura, you trying to change the show? You trying to change the show?
Yeah. Laura,
got to change the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Trying to get freaky in here.
No, Brian be trying that route, and again.
Lori, I did promote my
Boy,
OnlyFans.
y'all,
I did promote my OnlyFans at Devin Long 3 O's. I did
Oh,
I'm just saying,
there you go. You got them started, Lord.
They were shooting love at people.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of shooting and love on my at Devin Long.
Care Bears out there just spreading it on people, just like.
Well, I just want to know: are you the rainbow Care Bear? Like, which one are you? Are the blue? You're not the stormy one. So I just want to know the love Care Bear. But
honest with you, I'm trying to think which Care Bears. I might have to make up my own category.
Hey, Lori, I'm the sticky Care Bear.
Oh wow.
The sticky one.
Oh wow. See,
you see all the love.
Evidently, this show is not for kids.
The Devin Long Care Bear is a very sticky guy. Anyway, yeah. So catch that on.
No, you're actually a troll. It is
no. It is $7.95 though for the subscription, but it does go to a good cause. I can't tell you what that is because I don't want to promise that. But please subscribe, and then we'll talk about that later once you get on the other side of the payment portal on onlyfans.com/Devin Long with free code. Anyway. Thank you, Lori, for segueing into the OnlyFans portion of the show.
I am the producer. That's what I do.
Oh, well, keep on. You're doing well. That's Devin Long 3 O's at OnlyFans. So anyway, I'm not sure y'all had heard this mess about Donald Trump being found that he did create an insurrection. Colorado was reviewing the case of whether to exclude him off of the ballot. And the judge sat there and listened to all the oral arguments and came back and said, even though we believe that he caused an insurrection, we don't think the Constitution specifically mentioned the office.
Sorry.
No. Sometimes that's how you break it up because that was a good segue. But they said that the office of president was not one of the positions named in the Constitution. Therefore, it was their observation that while he did cause an insurrection, his position is not listed. Therefore, he is not under the guise of the 14th Amendment. That is definitely going to go to appeal. Whether or not they said, yeah, he's ineligible, that would have been appealed by the other side. So this is a thing that's going to be working its way through the courts. But the thing that is going to be hard to turn around now is the fact that the judge found that he caused an insurrection. So really the appealable thing is going to be whether or not the 14th Amendment holds the office of the president to the same standards as senators, House of Representatives, attorney generals, all those kind of roles that would be under because they take the oath of office. And, what people have to understand is that the 14th Amendment, when the founders wrote all of this stuff, and when this was implemented, a lot of this stuff was due because of civil wars and things. And they were trying to isolate rebellious people from coming back into Congress. So if they had ever been part of an insurrection, giving comfort of an insurrection, that was a way of saying you are not eligible. Instead of saying we're going to let you run and we'll try to vote you out or this and that and the other, we're just going to say from the jump, if you've been part of insurrection, you can't even run. You're not eligible. Your name won't be on the ballot. So they really used it for those purposes. But when they were thinking about all of that, never in their life did they imagine that they would have to protect themselves from the person that held the highest office in the land. They didn't expect it to be the president that was leading the insurrection. They were looking for the people that were underneath to lead the insurrection. So if you read the Constitution word for word, yes, that is a literal interpretation, but I think the spirit of the Constitution would have included the president if they had actually saw that there would be some rogue narcissist that got elected into that position in the first place. And they probably figured that there were enough barriers to keep that from happening. And we wouldn't be stupid enough to put somebody in that office in the first place.
Nah, you know what?
Absolutely.
The thing about this was I think it's so awesome and stuff. I love American history and stuff because rich white men have been getting the benefit of the doubt. The Tigers are running on them for everything. If it was a black dude, there'd have been no doubt that the spirit of the law would have been brought up immediately.
Yeah. When this was written, you weren't even a full person.
Yeah. Seriously though. I mean, like, this is crazy. Like, yeah, we know that you try to overthrow the government and stuff, but we don't know that disqualify you. Y'all gonna have to talk about that. That's beyond us. Like, really, dog? Like, I mean, that's so crazy because black dude was in handcuffs. They got tased by this white cop when he was in handcuffs, and she told him to shut his bitch ass up. Because he was complaining about being tased in handcuffs.
Oh, and I'm that, my brother. I'm glad you said that, my brother, because segue to Elephant Exposed, I just covered that. So, yeah, guys, I just so happen to be having this same conversation with my wife today. You don't even have to have any type of collegiate degree to use your common sense about what is supposed to be a give me. I mean, the answer is right in the man's title, okay? As to whomever it is, whether it's Trump, Bush, Reagan, any of them, okay? Barack Hussein Obama, all of it. They carry two hats, y'all.
Yep.
Okay, guys. So here's for my people that really truly don't know. The president carries two hats. Mm-hmm. He is, first of all, on the civilian side, President of the United States. Mm-hmm. Okay. The second one, he is called Commander in Chief. That means he is the highest officer, the person that holds the highest office as an officer. That's why he has command over all four branches. Do I have to say them for you? Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps,
and Space Force.
And we'll throw the Coast Guard in there too.
You got
we do have love for the Coast Guard. Okay.
Are you joining?
Yeah, he carries those titles. Oh, and by the way, do you remember in his inauguration? You remember when they broke out this big old unabridged looking book? Yep. That was called the Bible. Yeah, and when he put his hand on that Bible and he repeated those words, guess what that was called? That was called an oath.
I thought it was called the devil putting his hand on the Bible.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, the thing about it, guys, is that is the oath, that is the title that he holds, and that is why the judge was just basically looking out for herself. Yeah. Why? Because she is truly intimidated. See, us people that are surrounded by more blue than anything, we don't really consider real fear of others whenever they are dealing with and around Trump and Trumpsters. Yeah. The far extreme right people, okay? Those threats are very, very real. And people try to really make good on those threats. And that was the concern. So it's not like this woman did not really not consider not to hold Trump's feet to the fire. This woman was scared and she was looking for a way out.
Yeah, she went far enough.
So she found a way out by what I call splitting the baby, looking for those hairline excuses. Kind of like, and I don't want to say this, but I do hear it quite often as a Bible believing Christian man. Oh, well, the Bible don't say this. Okay, so now we're splitting hairs because the things like this was written for you to understand. Okay, it's a gimme. It's a gimme. But like I told my wife, in the 14th Amendment, it says, it doesn't say president, it does say office and officer and people that have taken an oath. So who that is, who fits in that bucket? The president.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying?
So you don't have to be a scholar to figure that out.
Yep, absolutely.
I think, I'm not sure it's fear. I just think that she's classically trained because, again, this country gives a lot of leeway to rich white men, and I don't think that she feared so much as that's just how they read. When it comes to these kind of things, that's just how they read it, and I think she might just be sincere. I think the other thing I always talk about Charlotte. Char LITTT .NC if y'all looking for it. Now they be having a lot of BS on there because they do paid advertisement, and every local rapper wants to get in on that too. Popular or whatever. But they showed this clip of this woman getting fired from Walmart. I don't know if you saw that. She worked at Walmart, and she walked through there, and she was tearing the Walmart up. I like her because I'm messy, and I like this messy shit. She's in Walmart. She was throwing shit on the floor. She tore that Walmart up and stuff. Imagine that woman coming back next week, talk about she wants her job back, and everybody going, well, we don't know what to do with it because nothing in the employee handbook says anything about employees tearing up the store before they leave. Like, that's crazy. Like,
some things should just be
to say that woman should not be able to get her job back at Walmart. How can you say that Trump caused an insurrection should be able to get his job back in DC?
Right.
And see,
nobody would argue with me about the woman at Walmart. Nobody would argue with me. Well, we don't know because gray area.
And see, again, we're talking common sense stuff. This is common sense. Then on top of this, like even all his other charges and stuff, it would knock him out of the qualification. You just being accused, or you just being in litigation. Him being in litigation alone. Think about how they ran the dog on Hillary. I mean, none of that crap was proven. None of it.
Unbelievable.
I know as a black dude, you get charged on page 1, you get apologized on the last page of the Saturday issue, and so just to have the as CJ said, just the charges he's under, the indictments. Who leads in the polls after that? And the crazy thing is that you get online and stuff, and white people talk about criminals and all these punks and how they're trying to destroy the country. And there's a dude who literally tried to destroy the country, and they all in. And it's like,
I mean, and no shame in letting his audience know. Yeah, I'm like, speaking well of dictators and stuff like that. I'm like, he's a great guy and he's a good leader and he has billions of people following. He don't have.
He just compared himself to Al Capone the other day.
Yeah.
He just compared himself to Al Capone the other day.
Bro, and Jesus.
Yeah.
And I was like, there is not a man. I mean, dude, he has made such a mockery of
I hear you. Let me ask you this though. Does that say more about him or the people that follow him? And how susceptible to foolishness people can be, that if you entertain them enough, the substance doesn't even matter.
Yes. So to answer that question, you have to blame the followers. You have to blame the leaders, because not the leaders, but the followers, because you're speaking their language.
Right.
So yes. So yeah, you hold him accountable to a certain degree, but I have to agree with this small portion of him, and I even hate to do it, but we have to be real with everything.
Yeah.
If he put out the BS he can't make the people do it. They're doing it on their own volition.
Which is why they're causing him, which is why they're trying to charge him more with the incitement.
There you go.
Than the actual action. You know, if I say, hey CJ, you see that bank across the street? Man, I think you should go in there and get your money. Now, I didn't go in there and start filling up no bags with no money. You did it, but you didn't do it necessarily of your own volition. Somebody gave you the push.
Right.
I'm being charged with giving you the push, not for you sitting there being dumb enough to listen and then going there with a bag with an old note that said, "Oh, give me your money. This is a stick up."
Right.
You did that part. So there's accountability for the person that did the action, but the person that did the incitement, or in some areas it would even be called conspiracy. You know, if I'm the getaway driver for the bank robbery, I didn't go inside the bank, but I knew there was going to be a bank robbery and I helped them get there and get away, then I'm just as much on the hook as the people that actually went in there with the guns drawn.
Right. I mean that's how they wrote the laws, right? That's why we call it culpability. You know, that's why we call it acting in concert. That's why we call it acting right now. He's accessory. You know, we got all kinds of words to wrap people up that was around the action, correct? So why are we not holding this man to the I know. So why we're not so why we're not
like,
do we need to start having like a dictionary section?
Like, I'm like, what is
this? Like, do we need to sit there and have like a word section or a dictionary section talking about all words or something like that?
Are you gonna put it into the Chiron?
Listen, my sister. Words matter.
They should, and they used to a lot more than they do now. That is
not anymore.
I would take a Blues Clues moment where like there's a secret word, and when y'all say it, y'all just put it on the screen and you talk about it. You said the secret word today.
No, that's like Andy Cohen. He on his show when they talk about when he's doing interviews and there's a secret word and how many times that has come up. People have to.
I would.
It's funny. Their words.
I'm not. Look, whoever thought I might be I'm not the smartest person on the panel by no means. I'm like, I'm listening. I'm like, they didn't know what they talking about. This is very, very educational. I'm gonna run this back so I can watch it, so I can look some of these words up. They going way too fast, man. I'm not gonna ask them so down.
With some people, I can use some stuff that they said.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna use this in my next argument.
Listen, look, I went to public school, bro.
Hey, you went to Garinger, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Public school.
You went to Garinger and you can read. Shit, bro.
Yes, sir. I don't know how I made it.
Boy, you fought your way out of there.
Yeah.
Woo, Jesus, thank the Lord, thank the Lord, thank the Lord.
Yeah, he fought the system hard.
Hard.
Never would have made it. Okay.
No, you need to keep singing. You went to Garinger. You know, everybody couldn't go to Dub C. We get it. We had standards. But yeah, so it's kind of funny to see how they're splitting. You use a good analogy. They're splitting hairs. And I think what happens too a lot of times is when something like that, you're having that in your court. It's never been brought up before because this dude continues to push new things to the forefront to try to make things normal that have never existed. And nobody wants to be the first one to do certain things. Nobody wanted to be the first one to indict him. Nobody wanted to be the first one to bring charges, even though that they knew that there were people that were fake electors. Nobody wanted to be the first one to charge the fake electors until you had the first one to do it. And then you started seeing subsequent charges after that, one after another after another. Once the water broke, once the dam broke, once the dam broke, then you started to see more and more because now judges are human and they can see, wait a minute, this has already kind of been ruled on. Now I won't be the first one to do it. So if that one's appealed, then mine gets appealed too.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but like with
CJ, stars, please.
Yeah, I already did that. Do it again. These words in. But like CJ was saying, it it's common sense. It's the whole reason I brought up the whole Walmart lady thing. Like, if that came in, like, and seriously, if y'all want a good time or you just want to know, Charlotte actually is really good about a lot of the police postings and stuff. Like when there's shootings and arrests and stuff like that, they're real good on that kind of mess stuff too. Like I didn't know that there was a lockdown in Northwest. Was it Northwest? North Mech had a big fight over there and they got locked down and stuff. Saw that on Charlotte. But I bring that up because it's common sense stuff, like my brother CJ was saying. It's common sense. And so when you look at Trump, and whether you're the first or not, for you to sit there and look at it any other way than common sense and say, yeah, if you cause an insurrection, if you can't be, it's just one of those kind of things. Like, if you can't do this lower job, you can't qualify for the lower job, how could you possibly qualify for the higher job?
Right.
So it doesn't have to name you. All it has to be is like, if you had to be, in order to be a paramedic, you have to, what are they on the ambulance?
Talking about like the first responder qualifications.
Yeah, if you got to be a paramedic,
if you can't master CPR,
if you gotta be able to do CPR in order to be a nurse, and you can't do CPR, even if it doesn't say nurse, you're disqualified for this. If you can't do the basic stuff, then you shouldn't be able to do the advanced stuff, and that's the common sense of it all. So when they're sitting there saying, well, it didn't actually say, again, that's that tie goes to the runner, privileges a hell of a drug type stuff, because if it was Obama, it would be no question.
We wouldn't be
about what it meant.
Talking about this.
Boy, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The presidency would turn into a sundown state.
I was just about to say it'd be sundown rules, baby. Like, we don't even know what you're doing out here this late.
Yeah. What you doing out here right now? Wait a minute.
I forgot who said that. And Brian, I don't know if you covered it on your show or not, but they was but somebody I just caught wind of it, but somebody was an analyst was breaking this particular topic down, and they were saying that this is how you know if you're truly dealing with something that is by rule of law or there's a bias or something like that. All you have to do is switch the roles to say, now, if this person did it here versus this person there. So whenever my brother Jay just brought up, all you have to do is put Obama in Trump's place.
Yeah.
How would this government would be reacting? Well, you would have your answer.
Yeah,
you would have your answer.
And you don't even have to really ask, because
could Obama have? Could he have done this? Could he have incited an insurrection? One.
In fact, I think he did. If you listen to Trump, because it was the FBI, it was Obama's DOJ, sending in actors to pretend to be Trump supporters and stuff. So, quite honestly, the real question is, why is Obama not locked up right now? And why are they persecuting the Jesus loving Trump? Hoorah, USA.
Man, listen, Trump still thinks like real life. He answered this on live TV, bro. He still thinks low key Obama is still the president. And I am not BSing. We are laughing.
You know why?
But it's a serious thing to them. They are very serious about this.
This is why. When you cannot accept the fact that somebody that you kept saying time after time after time is in cognitive decline, is sleepy, is not there, doesn't know what it is that they're doing or where they're at most of the time, and somehow or another that person beat you by 8 million votes, what would that say about you? If you sat there and you were going to run a race against somebody and you said, you know what, he has no form, he's slow, he can't get out of the box quick, he has all these deficiencies, and then he smokes your ass.
tortoise in the hair.
And then you're gonna say, "Man, somebody tied my shoes together."
Well, I really think that, and I don't even think that Trump even watched this movie, but I think he feels he's in like the movie The Manchurian Candidate, because possibly because again, if you're thinking that he's talking about
He wouldn't watch it because
Obama still around there, Obama is still pulling Joe Biden strings in the background or something.
And
'Cause
that's what
only
they
way.
think, Lord. I promise you, that's exactly what they think.
Obama is taking more shirtless pictures as an ex-president than anybody else. If y'all think that Obama, who's out here surfing, writing books, doing Netflix deals and stuff, hears anything about what's going on, like I really think they like when this election time, like this last election, like Obama was kind of stomping for Joe, but he wasn't like full force stomping for Joe. He was like, "Well, I'll show up in Pennsylvania. I've got some golf there that weekend. I'll be there then." But
you just reminded me of something. Matter of fact, I think I heard Christie bring it up like doing one of his interviews. This man has, or some of these mother suckers, they can't even vote for themselves now because they are convicts.
Yeah. He said,
it hit me. I'm like,
Trump won't even be able to vote for himself because he will have already been found guilty in at least one of these cases.
Right. He's a convict, bro.
They don't care.
How do you convict up?
See, they're proud of that because he's also convinced them that he's doing it for them.
That's right. That's that whole Jesus complex. Yeah,
that's that whole thing that I'm the one that's stretching my arms across the cross and bearing your burdens and your sins on your behalf. Because if they can do it to me, you ain't doing half this shit.
You know what's so great about that is that first of all, Jesus was a black man, and so to be imitated poorly by a white man and then taken out of context is chef's kiss of that's America. Beautiful. The other thing about that is that
you ain't gonna get them. They still think Charlie was most.
Nelson Mandela, rest his soul, was in the jail for 20-something years in South Africa.
Yeah.
He later got released. He was a political prisoner, got released, became the president of South Africa. Mm-hmm. Do y'all know that in 2018 he was still on the U.S.'s most wanted list? Because of that. A black man.
Black. Oh yeah.
We still watching you. This white dude, let him run the country. Boy, I tell you, Walmart ain't never been a microcosm for nothing. But look at this. I'm just telling you, you just can't come in and tear up your workplace and then come back and ask to be the boss again.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
He thinks that the rules are different for him because he is,
and he's not wrong. It has been different. Like I think it's not just me. A lot of people understood that when Donald Trump was running for office and stuff, it was a marketing thing. He didn't really want a job because he doesn't want any job.
He didn't think nobody was stupid enough to vote for him.
He didn't think anybody was stupid enough to vote for him.
Right, and that's the thing. He did it as a joke.
But then he found along the way, wait a minute, these people are
really dumb.
That's some of the craziest stuff I'm saying.
Well, right. So the thing about being that kind of personality, that kind of manic personality and stuff, the attention, the crowds and stuff. That's why he's fixated over crowd size. That's why everybody loves me.
Like TV ratings for him.
Yeah, TV ratings and stuff. He's very fixated on stuff, and so he became addicted to the cheers and stuff. He didn't want to do the day-to-day. In fact, it's very famous that they had to dumb down the reports to put his name in anything to keep his attention because he didn't want to do the government's job and stuff. He just wanted to do rallies.
Use a lot of pictures.
Yeah. Donald Trump is the Flavor Flav of presidents.
Oh, why did you give him why did you do Flavor Flav
with
like
the big
that?
Clock.
Yeah, except for this clock is how much time he gonna do.
Flavor Flav was the one that I saw 2 weeks ago singing the national anthem at a Timberwolves game.
Oh, yeah, because he was wrong for that too.
Flav was Flavor Flav wasn't a rapper. Flavor Flav was a hype man.
That's true.
Yes, that is true. He was a hype man. He was not a rapper.
He's the dude on all the Travis Scott stuff in the background going,
yeah,
it's lit.
It's lit.
Oh wow!
Just like Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star. Spliff Star was the hype dude.
He's the
That's what
hype
he
dude.
did. He never
Dang.
spoke a word, just hyped it up.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? I need somebody in the background every now and then to do that too. It's lit.
It's it.
But that's Trump. Trump just wants to do rallies. He wants to rile people up. Maybe hang a vice president here and there. But the dude just
He said,
he's not into.
"Oh
What?
my god!"
What?
Just one or two,
Just one or two, dude.
I'm just telling you, it's like look, being vice president for Trump is like being a head coach in Carolina right now. You know you're not gonna make it.
Right.
Wow.
You don't know when. But
You don't know when. But
times are
one day
already out for you.
they gonna get you up out of here.
Right.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
they
and
gonna
I
get you
say
up
to
there.
this.
Good job. Good job. sis.
Hey, segueing into getting rid of a mother effer. George Santos,
Oh God.
If that's his real name.
if that's his real name, because he goes by George.
No,
Anthony
he is the Kim
Walker,
Kardashian of the Senate.
Santos.
Kim Kardashian of the Senate.
So they finally got
No, Kim actually went back and got a law degree.
they finally got rid of girlfriend.
3 times, yeah.
Even though he put up a hell of a fight on the floor.
Well, he was a zesty little fighter, wasn't he?
Basically saying that we're all sinners, we're all here without fault. He even brought up one fact that one guy that was trying to get him out had been accused of being a woman beater. And that there are other people in Congress that have done worse things. He hadn't been actually charged. And I took exception because Byron Donalds, Uncle Tom, of Florida, got in front of the mics and started defending George Santos, saying that due process had not happened, that a lot of his colleagues felt the pressure, but still more Republicans voted against his expulsion than for it. But it only took 2/3, which is 290 members of Congress, where there are already 207 Democrats. So I think another 105 Republicans were brave enough to vote with all the Democrats, and that's what got him expelled. The leadership group did not vote to expel him, and a lot of them still tried to hang their hats on he hadn't been criminally charged, as if that was the criteria for expulsion, and it wasn't. I'm sorry, Lord.
No, I just had a question. So I remembered reading something somewhere that even though he has been expelled, but he can still use the gym.
Yeah, he can still use the gym.
And he can park or something like that.
Yeah,
He actually still have a seat, Lori.
He can
He actually still has a seat in the Senate. He just won't have a microphone.
Yeah, he can still take the floor.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Now,
looking like Barney.
Now, Governor Kathy Hochul in Hochul in New York, I think is pushing for a February election. Is that right? I think that's what I called it. She's pushing for a February election.
The big thing is the leadership didn't vote him out because their majority is so thin. They just didn't want to lose a number.
That's correct.
That's it. And especially during this time when they're trying to, if y'all didn't realize, the government still ain't got no budget.
Right.
They kicked the can down. In fact,
and ain't done a thing about it.
Yeah. So they losing voting right now is not in their best interest.
Nope.
It don't matter what he's done or what he's accused of and stuff. And he's accused of a lot of shit. Not as much as Donald Trump.
Let's be honest. With or without Santos, they ain't passing no clean budget without Democrats.
No.
And then also there's a lot of senators and people that are in service that are retiring or choosing not to run.
Yep.
Which is another problem.
There's over 20 members that have already announced that they have no intention of running in the next cycle. And a lot of them, whether it's been Bud, whether it's been McHenry here in North Carolina that says he's not going to run for another term. Now we got Kevin McCarthy saying, I'm out.
He's retiring
at the end of the year, so he's not going to even finish his term, which now, it was funny because Matt Gaetz brought up that point because he said over the last couple of weeks, he's been seeing Kevin McCarthy pack his stuff. So he figured he was leaving soon. Then if you get rid of Santos, he basically said it. He said, I hope, and Marjorie Taylor Greene said the same thing the other day. I hope nobody, some of these, what do you call them? He didn't say geriatric, but something to that point. Some of these geriatric folks in our conference, hopefully they don't cross over the rainbow bridge, because then what could happen is our 2-seat majority now could end up putting us in the minority if a couple of them croak and pass the hell away.
Yep.
And by default, if they fall under that majority, then the Democrats would actually, by default, be in the majority, and Hakeem Jeffries would end up getting wrestling the gavel away for Magic Mike.
Oh God,
MAGA Mike.
I like that name.
MAGA Mike.
MAGA Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
See, if you call him Big Johnson, that's gonna mess it up. So MAGA Mike Johnson, a Big Johnson there. They're gonna wrestle the gavel away. They're gonna take his wood away.
Okay, you know what? Again, that is starting to go left.
I'm left-handed.
So what do we hate?
It sounds like big gavel energy to me.
Yeah, it's very big.
Are we getting lotto songs now? Like, what's happening?
So Kevin McCarthy, we will say this. You wanted power so bad that you got too close to the sun and you actually touched it and you realized, hey, this shit is hotter than people say.
He actually got under the bleachers. He wasn't close to the sun.
Listen, he got too close and he realized that, putting yourself in that kind of position only puts a bigger target on your back. Had he been the speaker 10 years ago, he would still be the speaker a year later, but he didn't accept the fact that in these times, trying to just be a normal, regular Republican will brand you as a rhino. It will put a target on your back because for the longest, they've kept the extremists to a minimum in their party. What they didn't realize over time is that the extremists became the party. And you're not going to be able to govern with a bunch of extremists. That's why Jermaine just said there's still no budget to kick the can down the road. And I say to the Matt Gateses that whether you had a 2-seat majority or a 10-seat majority, you're not passing anything without Democrats. And they haven't accepted that. And Magic Mike doesn't want to do it too early because he wants to hold out hope that he'll be able to get enough Republicans to pass these reparation bills cleanly without Democratic help, which he is delusional if he thinks that that's going to happen. If he thinks he's going to pass anything with enough people in his caucus that will then be able to go to the Senate and have a chance of passing, he's delusional at best.
I think maybe that's the crazy part too, is that the idea that you could do something without the Democrats, like Matt Gaetz and that little small, faction over there who like any deal with the Democrats is dead. Well, what do you think is going to happen when it goes to the Democratic Senate? Your Republican bill.
On arrival, he probably won't even bring it to the floor.
But that's why I'm like, we talked about this all the time, and I know we get short on time, speaking of that, but the theatrics of this party and their not seriousness about governance. And so that's all it is theatrics to push it up to the Senate so they knowing it's dead so they can blame Democrats. But they can't even push it up there. And they don't, like I say, whether it was 10, they could have 15 seats, 20 seats, they still can't get the job done because they're not serious about doing the work.
Yep.
And that's what this stuff is. It's work. And they're not there for that. They're like Trump. They're just a lot of mini Trumps out there, just a lot of mini, like think of like who's the worst impression of Flavor Flav. And whoever that is, that's what like the Gates and the Taylor Greens and they're just out there, yeah, boy. I
would give that to Tommy Tuberville.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Who by the way finally stopped protesting and stopped objecting to unanimous consent. They were able to immediately promote over 400 active duty people that have been waiting for their promotions.
Yeah.
but he's
That's
still
a shame. And he's from Alabama.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Shame.
So that's a lot crazy. I know, Lori, if you want to throw up to what I don't like, I know we ain't done it in a while.
No. Actually, we kind of sat there and did that way. So we can segment this into the next week as we are approaching on to other things.
So next week's show, and I preemptively, because I'm a week ahead in my head, put in the cap. This is the last show before Christmas. It actually isn't. Next week's show is the last show before Christmas, where we will also have a guest on talking about their children's book. Hopefully, at the beginning of the year, we've already talked to newly minted author Catherine Jones, who's going to come on the show and share with us her new book that's out. I believe it's called Moments.
Moments.
It's one of those steamy novels that may keep a lot of things up at night. So we will definitely see about that. But anyway, I'm sorry, Lori, what was that?
No, I put that on there because I helped. So hopefully we have Catherine Jones actually should be on our January 4th show.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see if we're sober by then. But
we definitely will. I'll make sure.
Oh, well, okay. Well, one public announcement before we go.
Get home and raise your kids! Oh my gosh!
It's always a good idea to do that.
My hands won't even do that.
I don't know how to do that.
You have to do a lot of this.
Again, left.
Lori.
We're going left.
It won't
because we ain't right.
Lori, that's how you shake sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
What's wrong
And
with
dice.
Shake them up.
I know dice, yes.
So what
Dice,
was,
yes.
Lori, what was in your mind?
Again, stop it.
This is how you get the snow for Santa.
Morocco.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, what's wrong with
It's
that?
Thank
Black Santa,
y'all
too.
for joining head to head.
Santa is black.
It is
Santa
a
is
black
black.
Santa.
Hey, you need to send one of those to Megyn Kelly.
Oh,
This haven't had a nerve to put on a whole segment of why Santa can't be black, why you can't have black Jesus and everything else. Send that to her little racist ass. Anyway, yeah, I digress. Hey, y'all, Santa is black because who else gonna jump down somebody's chimney? And well, no, he is actually giving presents, so maybe he ain't black because he didn't take them, right? But anyway, but he breaking in. So y'all admitting that a white guy can do it?
that's a whole other show.
They support that, and he's a gay white guy too.
You leave him cookies and milk for breaking into your house.
Yeah, that's how I know he gay because he like milk and cookies.
Milk and
Yeah.
cookies.
He wants a milk and good.
He used to milk and
Bro.
cookies.
If he was a brother, he probably would have got shot in the back on his way out the door, right?
Him downstairs.
And then we called the police about there's a sleigh out front of my house. Who gonna get these damn reindeer?
God, dog.
They're like venison to me.
Hey,
Yeah.
tip your waiters. We out.
Absolutely. Hey, thank y'all for joining us. We'll see y'all again next week. Absolutely. Become legendary, as CJ Jones says.
Yeah, I like that.
And if you're like me in the old school days, ladies, you already know I am. This is Brian Parker signing off. Thanks to my co-host Lori Parker, CJ Jones, and the one and only franchise, Mr. Jermaine Parker. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care. Peace.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the